Testing. We're going to try this one and see if it's a little better. All right, I'll be the guinea pig. My name is John Schaefer. I feel blessed because, among other things, I was able to see Dave a day or two before he died. And he was just the same Dave he always had been. Ebullient, lots of fun, and so it was a great experience. Some of you remember getting the, what's it called, the Caring Bridge notice about he saw the end coming. And so I'm thankful I was able to see him before that occurred. I'd like to ask each of us for a moment to think, what motto best exemplifies Dave? Take 3 seconds and think of one. Live life to the fullest is what I think. And he offered us wonderful examples on how to be in life. He was appreciative, adventurous, kind, and always brought humor to any conversation. I met him beginning in junior high school. We were patrol boys together, so I guess I've known him longer than anybody except Brother John. And I'll just run through a few of the adventures that he was involved in. Burning crosses. The first one was on my lawn. High school poker, basketball cheering, and I want to speak about Harvard. Dave, I think, was probably the first Harvard Business School student who arrived in a Model A. Do I have that right, John?
The Buick, I think.
No. I saw a Model A in the parking lot at Harvard. Does anyone here remember the moose head on the apartment in Telegraph Hill? Hold your hand up. Well. Of course, as others have said, I shared skiing, hiking, fishing in the Sierras. I want to tell a story about frying pans. We were on Sonora Pass, I believe, and Dave brought in a backpack with a big, heavy iron frying pan and steaks and potatoes and onions. Anybody else share that kind of thing?
No. We didn't get that trip.
To cut it a little bit short, I would say, into every life some rain must fall. And in Dave's case, it was his son, Eric, who took his own life. And let me speak about, as he approached the end of his own, well, actually long before it, we were at Spenger's in Berkeley, and Dave shared with us how it was to know that the end was coming. He didn't know how soon, and as it turns out, it was 5 or 6 years. But he pointed out that he'd had a great life, and he had nothing to complain about. Certainly true. With luck and following Dave's examples, perhaps each one of us, as we approach our end, will be able to say the same. I'd like to say thanks to Jan for keeping him alive all these years. We appreciate it. Are you going to, will you keep writing his newsletter? Would anybody else like to say anything? Charlotte?
I feel like a woman ought to come up here and speak about it.
Thank you.
As you all know, he made us feel so special, every one of us. And you look around here and realize there's a million people that made him feel special. And once he got his diagnosis, we made a point of coming out here every year, and unfortunately didn't come out this year until it was too late. And I thought we got to come out and spend a few days with Jan. But I do remember the last time we were with him, and it's just a very simple story, but it seems so quintessentially Dave, as we were shooting the breeze around the kitchen table, which we love to do, and Jan and me, and Dave and John, having a beer, of course, and Jan was making a nice healthy meal for us, and Dave says, I feel like having a burger. So I'm not gonna insult Jan and go out and have a burger, but I said, I'll come with you, Dave. So we got in the car and we went down the block. What was the name of that place?
Happy Hound.
Happy Hound. And so we get in line to
Sylvia?
order our burger, and I see that there's milkshakes on the menu. I said, Dave, let's get a milkshake. Oh yeah, that'd be great. So we ordered our burger and we got our milkshakes. We just sat and had our milkshake while we waited for the burger. And it's just so, Dave, you feel like you're being naughty and you're back in grade school. You're not doing anything bad, but it was just a, a quintessentially Dave moment, and I know we'll all miss him very much. We love you, Dave. Thanks, Jim.
Hi.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm Patty McDonald, a rower up here. And when Simber asked us when we were on the boats to think of the first thing that you thought about Dave when you met him. Well, I came here in '97, and then I met Dave shortly after that. The big bear hug, the big kiss, and he's after me. And every time I saw him, I kept seeing him going, wait, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And then, as the year went along, he was still very friendly, still huggable, and to the day I last saw him, huggy with all the girls. But then I noticed that there was a whole group of novice girls up here on the rowing machines, and he was going down the line, kissy, kissy, huggy, huggy, kissy, kissy, huggy. Oh, he's trimming the rose bushes. I get it now. So that was Dave, and he was that way all the time. Always made us feel so great and so wanted, and he made us feel loved, and we loved him. And I wore this shirt because it was Dave and his crew that encouraged us and inspired us to do international rowing. So the first time we girls went was Belgium in 2000. And I'll never forget it. It was so much fun. And it was his crew who actually, they couldn't decide who won his race that day. It was a 4. It was against, what was the name of the other?
Long Beach.
And so it took them almost 3 hours for them to decide who won. They both got gold medals. They could not they could not see who got over first. So it was really wonderful and very inspiring. And also the inspiration of Dave, he was an artist also. His photography was art. Because when we would go around the world and he'd even just photograph the oars, the way they were stacked and things like that. And it was always, as an artist, as I'm an artist, and so I looked at that as art. It was always perfect, perfect, perfect. And Jan, when you two got together, both of your lives changed, and it was so wonderful to see both of you support one another so beautifully. It really is a great example. But even last year, Dave took some pictures of me for me to do, with my business, and I'm using it to this day. And it's still out there, and I can't help but think of him. And I think you guys were even traveling when he was trying to fix the photo and all that kind of stuff. But we'll never forget Dave. And you know what? Dave, you may think he's gone. He's not. He's part of us. He's in our hearts, and he'll be carried on forever. Thank you.
Jill? You're hard to see back then.